are video games as bad as everyone says they are? So this is a question that I kind of have, and I think I've kind of answered it, but I'm going to talk about video games and my experiences with them, some stories, and just my general thought process on this. So a lot of people kind of have this idea that video games are a waste of time. They're stupid. They're, childish. And now I'm going into my 20s, and I don't plan on giving this aspect of my life up. So the first point I want to hit on this is video games are not as bad as people make them out to be. And in fact, they benefit. At least for me in my life, they've benefited me overall. I made a lot of great friends playing video games, and my best friends that I had before I kind of played video games, I've built up those friendships. I mean, we'd do crazy sleepovers, and we'd stay up real late, and then we'd wake up super early, play Black Ops 2, and those are some of the best times we have. And, we've reminisced about that often, because it really was I don't know if it was like the highest point, obviously, because it's going to keep going, and we've had a lot of other great times, but that was a really high point for us. Like, we loved that. And video games are great because when I was younger, I would play different games and do different things, and that would lead me to finding interests that I never would have had otherwise, or being excited about certain things. And I'd always be like, I'm going to be a streamer, I'm going to go be a YouTuber now. And those are always fun thoughts, and I would try things, and it got me excited about desk setups and monitors and whatever. And that was really fun for a while when I was younger. And it kind of got my creativity up and built up some imagination with all the games and stuff. So as a kid, I think it really helped me, and it was really fun. Next point I'm going to kind of talk about is, yes, video games can be destructive in certain contexts, but that's kind of with anything in this world, I think. Too much of a good thing or a thing used improperly is going to harm, destroy, not be good for the world or whatever. But, if you're neglecting things like work, family time, friendships, relationships, dating, all that, school, if you're neglecting these things and ditching them for video games, yeah, they're bad. And you're skipping out on sleep or whatever, they are going to affect you adversely, and it's not going to be a good thing. But like I said, that's life. You have to use things in a good way, and you have to be smart about it. I remember a time in my life where I didn't really have a lot of friends. This was around whenever COVID hit and kind of locked down everything. But I would pretty much stay up till the AM, deep into the AM, like 3, 4, 5, maybe like close to 6 a.m. But that's all I would do. And I'd wake up somewhat early too, so I probably tanked my my recovery and growth and whatever as just a kid who's growing up. So that probably wasn't good for me. And it wasn't great because I wasn't even playing video games with people like that I had a good time. I was kind of playing by myself. In fact, I was kind of a loner when you think about it. And yeah, I could go back and go, well, I was trying to be a streamer. I was trying to have fun and make videos and play video games. Yes, but that was not good for me. Net gain, I was probably at a net loss, and I probably would have enjoyed the more sleep if I had chosen to get off the video games. But that's in the past, and I think I learned some good lessons from it. And a good little point actually I want to hit on that note is nothing good happens past midnight. Once you get past 12 in the morning, you could go into all certain areas that you shouldn't be getting into, and I'm not going to go over that because it's whatever, but just know that as a kid growing up, staying up into the AM playing video games and being on the internet wasn't good for me. So yes, video games can be bad in that regard, but overall, I don't think that they are destructive if used right. You know, even violent video games like Call of Duties or just first-person shooters, those are fun. Those, like, I don't think those are going to train someone into being a psychopath killer unless they were already there in the first place. You know, I'm a normal kid. I grew up playing FPS shooters and violent video games. Like, I was shielded from Grand Theft Auto, granted, but that was actually probably a good move by my parents. But then I did end up playing it, and I don't think it changed me. It was really fun. Excuse me. So yeah, that's that point. So another point I'm gonna hit right here, probably the last one, is the best times I've ever had was on a video game with my friends. Obviously, all time, probably not. But if I look back at Call of Duty and my best friends that I grew up with, like I mentioned earlier, we'd have these sleepovers where we would stay up till, probably about midnight. That was late to us back then. But we'd stay up till midnight, play video games. And then we'd wake up at 6 a.m. and play more. We played gun game and zombie modes and whatever. And then we'd go get donuts. And though we had so many types of sleepovers just like that one, and we really enjoyed it. I mean, this is one of the things that we've always talked about, as in, like one of our best childhood experiences. And yeah, I think that was super beneficial for all of us, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, we do other things like be stupid kids out and ding dong ditch and go. We used to have this thing where we'd go in the middle of the night, go down to our kitchen and try to find snacks and food and bring it back up. It's really stupid. But yeah, my best friends and me, we would always do that. Play Call of Duty and steal food and get donuts and whatever. So I think the best times I've ever had were kind of centered around video games. And to this day, I still play video games with those friends. We just do it differently. Everyone's pretty busy lately and whatever. And yeah, but we make it work. We play some fun things occasionally. And even with like my parents, my mom doesn't actually do any video games, but my dad will occasionally, and I'll play with him. And that's a really good activity to do with each other, and that's really fun. And it builds up relationships in a certain way that you probably couldn't get otherwise. You probably can with other things, I guess, but like video games are just so cool because it puts you together when you don't necessarily like have to be together. Like you could do it over long distances. But I think video gaming probably peaked whenever split screen was a thing. Obviously it's still a thing, but nowadays I don't think you see anything with, you'll see some stuff, but like the norm is just PC gaming and gaming over long distances. But man, I had some pretty good times when we'd get together and have a LAN party. We'd set up a bunch of TVs and monitors in the same room, put together like Minecraft or something, and it was really great. So I guess closing thought right here is just, yes, video games can produce bad things, but it's kind of like that with anything in this world. Anything can be used for harmful purpose, or its actual purpose can be messed up and twisted. So with video games and anything else in this world, you just have to do it right. You can't get its purpose twisted, and you can't use it for bad. Because overall, video games are a good thing, and they've benefited me. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.